Once again, I'm right and everybody else is wrong. Let's just admit it. Your old buddy Josh coming through again. I've been saying this for years, and now everybody else is starting to see it. So again, when it came to withdrawals for retirees going lower as they age, who was first to state that on YouTube? This guy. On top of that, what was I saying about how much you can take out without really worrying about it? I said 5%. And if you want to adjust it for inflation, fine. I don't think you need to, but you can use that too. Who was saying that first? Before anyone else. This guy. And it's not just based on just some silliness. It's based on academic research that I've done. All right, because I like to read this stuff. In fact, now that I'm done with this book right here, I'm going to go over, I haven't read Andrew Biggs' new book yet. Well, new as of a couple months ago, but I am going to read this next. This next on my list here. And I had another book back there I wanted to read. I forgot what it was about retirement. Anyway, so I'll read Andrew Biggs' book. Anyway, so let's talk about this. So doggone silly. This is why the 5% rule is now the new 4% rule. And this is from Nick Maggiulli or something like that. I could not agree more with Nick. I'd take some issue with how he gets there, but I couldn't agree more. In fact, what he says in this article is, I recently read Bill Bengen's new book, and let's see, and loved what he put together. Bengen is the creator of the 4% rule. Despite the usefulness of the rule, Bengen questions whether it's still the right guidance for today's retirees. All right. And surprisingly, Bengen's answer is no, but not in the way you think. Bengen says the rule isn't the right guidance anymore because it's too conservative, not too risky. And it's taken this long to realize that. It's crazy to me. And that actually concerns me when everyone starts jumping on the bandwagon like, maybe we should be a little bit more cautious. But yes, you read that right. The founder of the 4% rule thinks we can withdraw more from our portfolios given the updated historical data. Oh, boy. So let's check this out. How did he arrive at the new data? All right, so what this means right here, the first asset class I added to the original two was U.S. small cap stocks. Adding small cap stocks boosted the 4% rule to the 4.5. One additional asset class provided a major improvement to the safe withdrawal rate. All right, the small caps. but then he added four more asset class: U.S. small cap stocks, micro stocks, mid-cap stocks, and international stocks and treasury bills. And this increased the overall withdrawal rate to 4.7. He admits he could have gone further by adding REITs and crypto and other asset classes, but decided against it because of the diminishing returns from the four additional additions. Yep. In addition, he increased his portfolio from 50-50 to 55-40 and 5. All right, stocks, bonds to cash. By increasing equity, he increases equity allocation by 10%. Well, why did the results improve? Diversification. All right. Well, I'd say also because right there, you're increasing your equities. Anyway, so let's go down here. My guy says 2 conditions for the 5% rule to work. This is what this guy says, Mick Maggioni or whatever his name is. He says, you are willing to decrease your spending during market crashes. Well, if you're willing to decrease your spending during market crashes, the 5% rule is going to be way too conservative too, which I'll talk about in my upcoming book that I'm researching like a madman, 100%. I'm not researching anymore. I'm in editing phase. You've been saying that for years. Dude, I get it. I started down the thing of the reverse RMD, and it just didn't work the way I thought, so I had to take a left or a right turn, a left turn, a U-turn. I don't know. I had to go freaking accelerate in this other lane. I'm saying, ooh, this is better for sure. And I'll share it with you, here shortly. You might delay a vacation during a 20% downturn or reduce your spending when inflation runs hot. As this table illustrates, even with a 20% of your spending being discretionary, you can still increase the withdrawal rate from 4. Whatever. I don't care. It's this is how the 4% rule becomes a 5% rule. The whole thing's just silly. My whole thing, and I'm not saying this guy's silly saying it, but just like if we've just would have looked at history, we could have seen the 4% rule is way too conservative. And I'll share another video on this. How I've done that a million times, but I don't want to belabor this. But at the end of the day, it's insane how many people fell hook, line, and sinker for the 4% rule. And I love Bill Bengen coming up with it because no one else was doing it back then. No one else was doing it. But it's been way too conservative, not just because of today, but it's been way too conservative for years. Now, the problem that I have is that he increases his stock portfolio. And that concerns me because that that you shouldn't change your rule. If you're going to have a rule, you should keep the same parameters in the rule, if that makes sense. You should say 50-50 stocks and T-bills, or I guess he was doing 10-year treasuries or something like that. 50-50 S&P 500 and 10-year treasuries. You shouldn't say, well, if we do this, we do that, because we can do that till we're blue in the face. And that defeats the rule. The rule is supposed to be sacrosanct. This is the rule. And again, as always, if you're adjusting for inflation on your spending, where is your evidence for that? And amigos, there isn't any. All right. God bless. Love your thoughts. Smash that like button. And just remember, you are standing on the shoulders of a legend right here. A legendary Josh. Josh is legendary. The GOAT of financial planning right here. Even though I'm a caveman financial planner, I don't get your ways. Keep it simple, stupid. But at the end of the day, oh, you're so cocky. I'm being somewhat facetious, but at the same time, who else was talking about this stuff? No one was. So, all right. God bless. We'll see you.